okay, because I actually have the dehydrator oven going and I wanted to make sure that wasn't too loud. I don't think it's going to be, but just wanted to make sure. So I'll wait for some feedback on that. Now I'm going to go and check and make sure that these actually loaded to go live because I've been having a little bit of an issue with that. So I'm going to look at that real quick and I hope everyone's having a great day. Oops, that's not what I want. All right, it looks like that one's working. Okay. All right, so we've got YouTube working just fine. And leave a comment and I'll hear it or won't hear it. I will see it. And then, be sure to ask any questions that you have. That's what we're here for. Now let me check on Facebook. There's several steps to check Facebook. I have to switch all kinds of things. All right. I'm not seeing any comments. Maybe there aren't any. And that's okay. But usually there are by now. So I'm just wondering if something's going wrong. I also don't see that anybody's in the chat or, watching yet, which is unusual too. So let me just see. Okay, so this is going to be a little challenging. There are a ton of people in, and for some reason, StreamYard is not loading in the questions. Oh, I hope. Let me add myself back. Okay. All right, I've got my screen blurred back there. Let me unblur that. Let's do that. We don't need to blur that. You can see my mess back there. Okay, good. Okay, good. So now I see there are 125 people in and there's tons of comments. So that was the issue. All right. If you're joining for the first time, this is our live Q&A. It streams to Facebook and it streams to YouTube, and you can ask questions right on that platform in the chat box. It then comes to me. Both of them come to me in a program called StreamYard that I'm using. Now, one thing is you won't see, if you're on YouTube watching, you'll see the other comments from YouTube, but you won't see the comments from Facebook. So what I try to do is put them on the screen when we have questions or highlighted comments. Okay. All right. Welcome, Dorothy. Hello, newbie Nicole. How are you? Hi, Rena. Hi, Pat. Hi, Esther. Hi, Annie. Hi, Colleen. And I just wanted to tell you how much I love those scrubbies that you sent. I like doing the dishes now, and I never did before. Like, I hated it, but now I've got this nice little like soft scrubby in my hand, and it's their beautiful colors. I love it. I love it. Hello, Debbie. How are you? Hi, John. How are you? Hi, Barbara. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Faith. Hi, Valerie. My goodness, I'm afraid I'm going to miss people. Hey, Connie. All right. So, does anybody have any questions? Oh, Deborah's got a question for me. Did I ever get the stain off my top that I got on 2 weeks ago? Was that? I'm trying to think. It must have been a Tasty Tuesday episode. So it was either last week or 2 weeks before that. and I'm trying to remember what shirt it was. I know that I took it off midstream, right? Took that shirt off, put some Dawn dish liquid in there. Pretty sure I washed it. I don't know what happened to it after that. I don't even remember which one it was. So I can't answer. Sorry. I don't remember. Hey, Mike, how are you? Hi, Cooking with Rick. How are you? Hello from South Korea. How are you? Okay, you're hearing an echo. I'm not sure if that's going to be on my end. I haven't seen anyone else say that yet. Hey, Nancy, how are you? Hello, Alaska Family Kitchen. How are you? That's like one of my dream vacations to go to Alaska. Hi, Jackie. How are you? Raven, I think I said hi to you, but just in case, I'm going to do it again. Hi, Crystal. How are you? Okay, so Crystal, we finally got the medicine that Gus can take to treat him for his fleas. I hate fleas. And they are still at home. They say it takes about 36 hours for most of the fleas to be inactivated or killed or whatever they are. So we've just been doing a lot of frequent cleaning over there and a lot of changes with the sheets and everything. But luckily we have hardwood floors there. So there's not like a whole lot of places for them to drop their eggs. And then they go into this stage. I'm not going to bore y'all with the details. I know more about fleas now than I ever cared to. So they say it can take up to 5 weeks. So I'm still not bringing the dogs here because this house is primarily carpet, except for in the kitchen. It's an older house and we haven't ripped that up yet. And I don't want the fleas getting in the carpet here. So they're still at home. Jeff, in fact, left work. We have to change our schedules now. So I have to come into work late on Tuesday when I do the Q&A. And then he gets up because he's on day shift. So then he gets off at 6:30 and goes home and takes care of the dogs. Hi, Angel. How are you? Hi, Chandra. Hi, Lori. Well, thank you, Cooking with Rick. I appreciate that. Hi, Sharon. How are you? Okay, Connie, you were wondering if I've done anything with the dehydration function. I'd like to make some beef treats for my dogs. I actually have it running right now. I'm dehydrating orange slices for a holiday. It's not really a recipe because I actually use them as ornaments and gift tags, and it's going to go along with a recipe that I'm working on that you can, it's just a powder thing. And, it's a drink mix basically. And so I'm just using it now. I haven't made dog treats for a dog. I know a lot of people have though, but I haven't. That would just be basically like a beef jerky. So you could just just don't marinate it. Obviously, you don't want to get those seasonings in there. So I would just thinly slice the beef and then you can dehydrate it. I'm trying to remember what the temperature was. I did a video for beef jerky. A whole recipe is absolutely delicious. Turned out perfect. But then I second guessed myself about food safety because I read some articles online saying that you would have to either sear the beef first, because any bacteria that's on beef is only surface deep. It's only on the surface. It doesn't penetrate. That's why we can eat beef at a much lower temperature as long as it's not ground than we can other types of meat. But when you slice it, you could drag bacteria down, down through it. Obviously, that's a possibility. So I got a little freaked out that my temperature that gave the best result for beef jerky was not high enough to be food safe. And there's all kinds of workarounds, and I tried some of them, and the result was horrible. But now that I'm looking more into sous vide cooking and doing a lot of research on the food safety aspect of that, I'm finding that because we're cooking for a much longer period of time, we can do those lower temperatures. But I think Jeff got rid of the footage of the video, so I think I have to reshoot it. But let me see if I have. Let me just do a quick search in my, I do still have it in here in my recipe database. And let me see if I wrote down, I dehydrated on 150 for 6 to 8 hours. Now, of course, it depends on thickness of your meat, but it would be the same whether you're going to make beef jerky for human consumption or for dogs. You just want to make sure though that you don't use the a marinade or anything like that, because they don't need all that stuff. All right. Hi, Roberta. How are you? All right. Hi, Jim D. How are you? Newbie D. How are you? Hi, Diane. How are you? Hi, Beth. Hi, Bernie. Hi, Barbara. I always love seeing it where there's so many people from so many places. Oh, it's crazy. Hi, Brittany. Hi, Shar. Hi, Mandy. Hi, Juliet. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Barbara. All right. So I know we have somebody in from Australia. That would be John. Did I see somebody from Scotland? I know we have a lot of people from the UK, a lot of people from Canada, scattered across the US. But did I see somebody from Scotland? I thought I did, but now it might have been another time. Oh, Robin. Yeah, I posted that today. I'm actually working on a steam and crisp pizza. And it's been a little challenging, and mainly just because the bottom crust just isn't getting done enough. It's good. Jeff and I have had it. We've had pizza like, I don't know, 4 times in the past 2 weeks because I'm testing the recipe. But it's just, and the steam and crisp works great. Like I would have never thought, to do the steam and crisp, but I know it worked great for bread. So I thought I'm going to try this pizza. And my idea is that I would just want to have somebody be able to, form the pizza crust, put on your sauce and your toppings, and just do the steam crisp and not have to worry about it, and then have a perfect pizza. But that isn't happening, just because I think that the dough underneath could get a little bit more done. So tomorrow I'm going to test it where I do a little bit of steam crisp before the toppings go on, just to kind of par cook it a little bit. So anyway, we'll see how that works out. But it is a nice crust. It's not a crunchy, thin crust like I really like, but it's kind of like a chewy DiGiorno type. I said to Jeff, I made a DiGiorno. I can't even say the word. DiGiorno, I think that is. I made a DiGiorno pizza. He's like, oh, this is so much better than DiGiorno. And it's definitely better than takeout, even with a little undercooked crust. But just want to perfect it a little bit more. All right. Am I going to create recipes for the Ninja Speedy? Yes, it's not a challenge because they're not challenging. Time for me is a challenge, a real big challenge. So I wrote up about, I don't know, 40 or 50 recipes that I think would be really great in the Ninja Speedy. Basically focusing on that rapid cook function, because the rest, I mean, if you want to air fry something, you can just grab an air fryer recipe. I've got plenty on my website, or, there's oodles of people that do air fryer recipes. If you're if you're going to use the steam and crisp, if you can find some recipes for steam and crisp for the Ninja Foodie, there might be a little bit of differences, little changes, just because you've got a little smaller of an appliance and things tend to even cook a little bit faster, but basically they're going to be the same. So I'm focusing on that rapid mode with the layered meals that it was designed for. But yeah, time is just an issue. It's fourth quarter, which is holidays, and I've already have my content calendar all planned out pretty much before the Speedy even came out. So I'm trying to fit little bits in there. I do want to do a demo of it on YouTube. So I'll do a review on it and go over some things, and I'll do a recipe or something to demo it. And then it's just testing it. But when I'm really particular about testing recipes, so they take a lot of time to get done. I mean, I can work on one recipe for weeks. I did just do a chicken Wellington. I think I mentioned that in Tasty Tuesday, maybe last time. I did just finalize that. I'm really excited. That is so amazing. And now I'm thinking that I'm going to go on and go a step further, and I want to do a turkey Wellington. So I want to do Thanksgiving dinner, stuffed in a puff pastry. I don't know. What do you guys think? You think that'll go well? I think it's going to be delicious. The great thing about the chicken Wellington and even beef Wellington is that it's totally make ahead. The only thing you do right before you right before you put it into your air fryer or your oven, because I've tested both recipes both ways for timings in the post. But it only takes like 10 minutes to assemble them. So it's fancy. They're fancy. Let me see. Maybe I can show you a picture. Let me see. I might be able to show you a picture. Let me see if I can share my screen. Although keep in mind, my screen doesn't, my colors on my screen are a little off. So it might not be appetizing, but let me see how I think I can just do it. Let me see if I can do it. Okay. Maybe not. I've never done this on this platform. I know you can do it, but let's see. Well, let me move on and I'll try to find it. I'll try to find out how to do it. That's for getting people news. I don't want news layout. What is this? Well, I'm wasting your time. I'm sorry. It says hit shift 7. Oh, should just be able to hit this button. Oh, wait a minute. There's 3 dots up here. Let's see. Huh. I don't know how to. Oh my God. Oh, you would be laughing at me so much if you saw this. Literally, there's a big share button, like share your screen button. Okay, let's see. Okay, share screen. So now you're gonna see everything that I see, but I'm gonna just. Did that work? Or is it? Oh, it's doing all this stuff, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know if you can see that. I think I'm messing it up. Now I can't find you guys again. I think it's doing that. Oh boy. I think it's doing that. Yeah, it is. Let's see. Window. There. Let me share that. Okay. So that's the chicken Wellington right in the editing software. Anyway, it's so good. It's so easy to make and it's really, really delicious. All right. Now, let me see how I can get this out of here now. Stop the screen. Okay. All right. Well, look, I learned something new. I love that. All right. Cooking with Rick says, I think I have as many pressure cookers as you. I just got a new one today. Well, you want to count them up? Let's see. I've got 2 at home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got to have 7. Oh, and then I've got my Instant Pot, 8, 9. I probably have about 10 pressure cookers. Most of them are Ninja Foodie models, but I have 2 Instant Pots. One is the Duo Crisp and one is the other one. Hey, Sharon, how are you? Okay, Cindy, I have not bought the outside grill. So, but I think that I said I wasn't going to get it because I don't really have any interest in doing recipes in it. Just because our setup is not designed for outside. It would be real hassle not really. Jeff can do it. He can do it, but it would be like, we have to move everything outside, okay, to do the video shoot outside because obviously it's an outside grill. So I wasn't going to do it. And Cooking with CJ's doing it. There's also Grilling with Montana, Grilling Montana. I'm sorry, not Grilling with, Grilling Montana on YouTube that is doing some recipes. And I'm sure some other people as well are doing them. But my friend got it and she ended up by accident having 2. So I may buy one from her at a deeply discounted rate. I don't know. She loves it though. So now I'm like, okay, all right, I got to try it out, but I don't have it yet. Hi, Larry. How are you? Hi, Sue. Hi, Ron. Hi, Roberta. Hi, Norma. All right. Hi, Danita. How are you? Okay. Banana chips. Okay, they're hard. So, Danita says, I tried to make banana chips in the Ninja 8 quart and followed the dehydrator instructions that accompanied the product, and the banana still had too much moisture. Ran a second cycle and they were still wet. So, I don't know what their instructions are, but I have made banana chips several times. In fact, the first time I made them, I couldn't believe how perfect they were. I don't know I mean, I know what I did, but I don't know what kind of magic happened. They were perfect. They were even crunchy. Okay. And usually dehydrated banana chips are not crunchy. These were even crunchy. They were delicious. They were perfectly sweet. They were just, perfect, perfect, beautiful, nice. And I mean, the colors were good. Everything was perfect about them. So I go to repeat it. I cannot repeat it. So they're very difficult to make. They don't give you, like, I don't want mine brown. Yeah, that was one of the issues I ran into. They were turning brown, but I fixed that with a little simple syrup solution that I dipped them in. But yeah, they're tough. They're really tough. I mean, I don't know what temperature you did, but you might want to, if they're wet, or they really wet, or they just kind of just chewy, like not crisp, because they're probably not going to crisp up like you get in the stores, because those are actually freeze dried. They're not dehydrated. So it's a totally different process and leaves them really crunchy. And I think somebody even said that they might even be like coated in oil and stuff. I don't know. I haven't looked into it that far. So I gave up basically with the banana chips. I gave up. But I should probably try that again. I did find that you had to pick bananas. Excuse me. Sorry. I did find that you had to pick bananas that were just slightly underripe for the best results. If they started to get soft in any way, they would not work as well. So that was one challenge, is getting the bananas absolutely at the perfect time. But yeah, so if you want to add in what time and temperature you did, I can look back in my database to see if I know what I did. Let me look real quick. No, I don't think, I think it was, oh yeah, dehydrated banana chips. I did do it. Let's see. I dehydrated on 130 for 12 hours. And then I lined the racks with parchment for the first 12 hours. Then I took them off of the parchment paper and continued dehydrating for 4 to 12 hours until they were, the way that you would want them. I have here down 5 semi-green bananas cut into 1/2 inch rounds, soaked for 1 hour in 1/2 cup of sugar, 2 cups of warm water, and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Let dry on parchment lined cooling rack for 2 hours. So like, they're a pain in the butt, really. There was a process to it. But the first time, like I said, turned out fantastic. After that, bombed. It never made it. All right. Larry says, I don't have the speedy. How can I do the 15-minute meals in the OL 701? Well, that's kind of what I'm working on too now. So I did something really silly the other day. I'll share with you guys, because it was a complete disaster. I should have taken pictures because it was so funny. And I knew it wasn't going to work. Okay. I knew it wasn't going to work. I kind of wasted some ingredients, but I was just like, well, I'm going to try it anyway. So I threw in just a little bit of pasta, just like 1 serving of pasta. And I think I had penne, maybe. Okay. Something like that. And then enough liquid into the OL 701. And I put in some, the liquid. And then I put some cheese on top, and I did steam crisp. Well, I knew the cheese was going to cause a problem, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. I just wanted to see if it would be that easy to really just make that quick macaroni and cheese, and the pasta cooked fine. Okay. So this is how you would do it. You would do steam and crisp, or steam and bake would mimic the speedy rapid cook function the best. I think they're going to work fine. I think you're probably going to have to cook a little bit longer because yours is bigger. But anyway, what happened to me was it never did come up to do the countdown, because of course the cheese, as it melted, sunk to the bottom. But let me just tell you, and then when the air crisp thing, I guess it went on. The air crisp thing no, I guess it didn't, because it never did switch over. So it was the bottom heating element, like you would do sear saute, that was engaged. I almost had like perfect, like burnt cheese, if you know what I mean. It wasn't burnt, but it was crispy. It was really delicious. But of course, that wasn't what I was going for. So it was a total fail. It was kind of funny. I was like, Louise, you know this. This is so silly. Why'd you even do that? Now, it would have worked perfectly had I left the cheese out and put the cheese in just after the crisp function went, just put the cheese in, gave it a stir, and then put the lid down for a few minutes. So yeah, Larry, you can definitely do it, but I'm still working on like seeing what the timing difference is about those two functions, because I think like I've got some recipes on my website that I think can be done in the speedy as well. And I want to be able to let people know that in case they don't have the foodie, but they have the speedy. All right. Hi, Craig. How are you? All right. Oh, this is okay. If I have eucalyptus trees near, put some, I don't think I have any eucalyptus, but do you have anything to keep armadillos away? I'm more worried about those. Well, funny you should say that. Okay, so this goes back to what I'm doing with the oranges. I'm not making my own tang, but I'm making like a tea. I don't know if you guys remember what are they called? It's like an orange spice tea. But of course I'm going to do it a little bit differently than normally it's done with lemonade and tang. They use tang and things like that. But yeah, that is what I'm working on. Okay, so I can't remember which episode, but you have a very nice, pretty Sherwood bowl in on one of your shelves. Wondering who turned it. They're still over there. So I have two of them, two wood bowls. One is a salad bowl from Pampered Chef, and one is one that was made for me. I think it was made for me. My sister had it made, and it's beautiful. They're both beautiful, but the one that was handmade is really beautiful. But they're still up there. I don't know if they were turned or not. Jeff is a fanatic about things. Like he'll come in before we go live or whatever for Tasty Tuesday, and he'll make sure all the spices are lined up. He does all that. You can see this is my work kitchen behind me, so you can see I'm not a fanatic. Like they're not arranged in any kind of way. Boric acid in the carpet kills fleas. Okay, all right, cool. Dehydrated strawberry slices. That sounds good. I haven't done that. I did make strawberry fruit roll-ups. They are delicious. They are so good. All right. Annie asks, what is the best way to cook bacon? I've done oven methods, skillet, and the Foodie grill. It just takes forever and never gets crisp all through it. Well, that is interesting. So I primarily use the Foodie grill for bacon, but Jeff just used the Ninja Foodie the other day on air crisp, and he said he loved it. Now, the reason why I don't do my bacon in the Ninja Foodie is because I like flat bacon. Okay. So that's just one of my weird things. So that's why I use the XL grill, and I do 360 for 12 minutes. Now, depending on the bacon, we use thick cut bacon usually all the time. Depending on the bacon, sometimes it has taken a little bit longer than the 12 minutes. So it just really depends. But you don't want to go at too high of a heat, because with bacon, what you really want to do is get that fat rendered. That's what will crisp it up. And then very important, after you do cook your bacon, you need to let it cool on a paper towel, and that's going to help crisp it up too. So hopefully that will help. But I would stick with the grill. I mean, you can do it in a skillet too, but the grill, I think, is just as easy, and we air crisp it. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Nancy, I have seen on one group I'm in, a UK group, that you can dehydrate a roast beef. Have you ever done that? It looks interesting. Yes, I did do it. Did I do a video on it? I did a video on it. Now, whether that video is in the course or on YouTube, I know I did a video, or did I not release it? I'm gonna have to ask Jeff. Wow. Well, if I didn't do a video on it, I did it. Maybe I didn't do a video because I didn't like it. So the idea behind that is, I mean, valid. It's very valid. It's a lower temperature and you're just doing a low and slow cook. I don't remember what cut of meat I used. Maybe I used the wrong cut too, but it never tenderized. It didn't work for me. But that's not to say it wouldn't work. But I also think, like, why would I want to do whatever it takes, 4, 5, 6 hours, whatever time it takes to dehydrate, when I can do the broil and then leave in the pot method that I have on my website that I know works perfectly every time. There was no difference in those two. So to me, it wasn't worth the time difference. You know what I mean? Because this one gets done in like an hour or something, and the other one takes several hours. So it wasn't a difference in the crust even, because you're only going to create so much crust on the outside. You know, even if you go at a low temperature for a long period of time, it's just going to, there's only so much it's going to form, and it does the same in both. So I didn't think it was worth it, but people love doing it, and it's a sound cooking technique for that, for sure. All right. As thin as jerky as it will reach optimal temps quickly. Yes, that's true, except for the fact that it's not going to go above what you set it for. So that was the thing. So if, you're supposed to be cooking it to, I don't know, whatever the temperature they say outside, the outside should be, I don't know. I'm not making much sense, because I think I did do it at 140, which would be perfectly fine for steak. So I don't know. There was some reason why I didn't release the video. I was nervous about it. So I wanted to do some more research. Oh yes. Okay. Yes. Larry. If any of you guys have those butter crocks where you put your butter and you can leave it out and you put water in, if any of you have those, but you've noticed that your butter falls out, Larry has a warm kitchen, and he puts an ice cube in the reservoir where the water is, and that has fixed his problem. I have heard that other people have had some problems. What is the safety of dehydrating a 1 kilogram piece of beef for 6 hours? So that would be what, 2.2 pounds? It would be fine, because you're going for a long period of time, and you're still at dehydrating. You're not going to go lower than, what are they dehydrating on? Now, you know what? That's the thing, dehydrating. But yeah, you're going for 6 hours, so it's the same as sous vide. So you're going to be fine. I think you'll be fine with the beef. There's no problem. And remember, when you're doing a whole thing of beef, the only issue is on the outside. Okay. So that's only where the bacteria is. So it really doesn't matter what the internal temperature reaches. That's why you can have steak tartare. Okay. Really high quality. What they do is they slice off the outside of the cut of beef, and then they just grind it up, and it's perfectly safe to eat it raw. So no worries with that. Dehydration would be safe for the beef. Okay. Kathleen says, with the meal you made last week, I noticed that you scraped out the brown gills under the mushrooms before you stuffed them. Can I ask why you did that? Just to make more room for the filling, really. And I don't normally do that with any type of mushroom, except for when I'm stuffing them. That's all. It's totally, you don't have to do it, but it just makes more room for the stuffing. All right. Cheryl asks, can you do some technique videos like best ways to warm leftovers or quick recipes for busy moms? I think the quick recipes for busy moms would fall into the speedy category, which I also think can be done in the OL series Steam and Crisp functions, which then also can be done in the older models too, with a little bit of tweaking. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could think about that, trying to put in like how to do leftovers. I'm really focusing right now on trying to find like the cheapest cuts of meat and making recipes with those. I know the vegetarians aren't like happy, or vegans aren't happy with me about that one, but the cost of meat has just gone skyrocketing. So I'm trying to do that a little bit. And then I'll have to try to think about how to organize a best way to warm leftovers kind of video. Like I would have to have like 4 or 5 different things and then run through them really quickly. But that's a good idea. I know that would be helpful for a lot of people. Hi, Linda. How are you? Danita says, I did beef jerky and it worked out great. I used the dehydrator function to make banana chips and ran 2 cycles, which was 10 hours, and they were still wet. I think I already talked about that. Okay. So I'm not going to go over that again. Let's see. All right, Kathy, if you have the grill and the Foodie ACPC, would you recommend the Ninja Pro Crock-Pot and why? I don't know anything about the Ninja Pro Crock-Pot. I know nothing about it. So I really cannot speak on that. I haven't researched it, nothing. So I don't know. I mean, I love the slow cook on the Ninja Foodie PC and air crisp. I love it. I know some people don't. They don't think it cooks hot enough. But I love it. I'd love it. So I personally wouldn't have any use for it, but I don't know what else it does. So I really don't want to speak on it because I'm not familiar with the appliance. Nice to see you. How are you? Hi, Deborah. Hi, Linda. Tell him hi. I think that's my husband. Said hi, maybe. Okay. Best way to cook London broil in the Ninja Foodie. Okay. So the best way, the best way is the way that you're going to like it. Okay. And there's like two different things that you can do. So London broil is not a cut of meat. London broil is a preparation of a meat. It's usually a sirloin type of meat. So it's not super tender. It's not super fatty. They're pretty lean. And they're usually marinated. A London broil is usually marinated and then grilled. Okay. Or broiled. So in the Ninja Foodie, if you wanted it to serve it that way, a traditional way, and you wanted to marinate it, I would probably either use the broil function or you could use air crisp. That would be fine too. It's not going to hurt. That extra little fan speed isn't going to hurt. I would go on a high temperature for a short period of time. Okay. The best way to serve it is going to be medium rare and sliced thinly. That's going to give you the best result overall for that preparation of a steak. But if you wanted it to be very tender, fall apart like beef tips and gravy, then slicing it and sauteing it, maybe toss it in some flour and things like that, and some seasonings, and then saute it in some oil, and then pressure cook is going to give you the best result for that type of preparation. So you can really do it either way. And then, of course, you would cook it if you were doing the broil or air crisp method, you would do it to to your desired liking, to the temperature that you like. But anything past medium rare, even getting into medium, is just going to get tougher and tougher and tougher. It's not something you want well done unless you pressure cook it and then you can tenderize it at the same time. I do have a recipe on my website for London broil. Let me see if I can find it here. I think I do it in the grill though, but it would be the same thing. It's just harder to fit it in the Ninja Foodie because of the shape of it. You'd have to cut it in half or something. I will post this recipe here into the chat. And let me find you guys again. There we go. All right. So there's the recipe for the London broil. And that marinade is delicious no matter how you cook it. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. That's one that we kind of adapted from my husband's grandfather, and it's easy, but it's just so delicious. Okay, so Cooking with Rick says he loves the Speedy and he is creating new ones all the time. So you might want to check out his channel as well on YouTube for some recipes. Hi, thankful for today. How are you? All right. If you did the strawberries in your Ninja, how did they turn out? So Newbie Nicole, I'm not sure if you're talking about my strawberry roll-ups or the dehydrated strawberries. I have not dehydrated strawberries yet. Strawberries have just been so expensive to buy around here, so I very seldom get them. So yeah, I haven't dehydrated them yet, but they turned out great when I made them into fruit roll-ups. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Did I get your stuffed artichokes? No. Did you send me an email with a recipe or something? I don't remember seeing that. I remember talking to somebody about artichokes and stuffed artichokes, but I don't remember seeing a recipe. I bought some artichokes not the other day. It was probably about, I don't know, 8 months ago. And I wanted to cook them. I've never cooked a whole artichoke myself. Okay. Like I've never done that. So I like artichokes. They're okay, but they're not like my favorite food or anything. So I've never cooked one. So I was like, I'm going to do an artichoke. I want to figure it out how it works because they look so funny. I'm like, how in the world do you even make this edible? And they went bad before I got to it. It's one of those things that because I really don't know how to do it, I'm like kind of like, I'm normal. I'm a normal person. I've never done it before. So I'm like, I'll do that tomorrow. Oh, I'll do that tomorrow. And then tomorrow never comes. Brenda wants to know, do I have a published recipe book? I do have a ebook. Okay. So it's only a digital download. It's fall-based recipes. So it's the perfect time of year for it. It's got some delicious, delicious recipes. You can find that on my website. And I can also link to that in the, and I tell you all the recipes that are in the book. So you don't have to if you don't like what the recipes look like, don't buy it. You know what I mean? Like full disclosure there. They told you exactly what's in the book. They're all pretty good. Well, they're all good. I mean, they wouldn't be in there if they weren't good. They're definitely good. Somebody just made the upside down pear cake, and that's amazing. She posted that in our on our Facebook group. Okay, there we go. All right. Let's see. Hey, Brittany, how are you? That's a good question. Since it's almost Halloween, what is your favorite thing to make with pumpkin? Well, I have a pumpkin bread recipe, which I think is amazing. I love that recipe. But I didn't make it this year because right now I'm doing a recipe for pumpkin biscotti. And the first test went really well. So I've got to do the second test tomorrow and I'm going to try to spice it up a little bit more. I don't think it had quite enough of that like pumpkin pie type of flavor. So I'm going to spice it up a little bit more and change a few little things. And then hopefully that'll be good for the final test and I'll get that out. I love pumpkin. Oh, I have a recipe for pumpkin custard too. Pumpkin pie custard is really good. That's really good. Easy too. Easy. And you use the little canning jars and you put it right in the Ninja Foodie and pressure cook and they're perfect. What else do I like a lot that's pumpkin? I love pumpkin pie. Love that. I'm trying to think. I don't know. There's something else I'm going to also try to make pumpkin gnocchi, I think. I think that's how you say it. I think that's on my list to do. So I love pumpkin, but I don't use it a whole lot. I don't know. And I only think about it in the fall, like I guess a million other people. All right, let's see. Turkey Wellington sounds good. Yeah, John, it does. So I know I'm way behind in these messages or these comments. So let me go through them. I saw a recipe for sous vide cranberry sauce. Would you try that? Yes, I would try it. I'm not sure what the benefit's going to be though. I mean, except for set it and forget it. So yeah, I'd be willing to try that. I'm going to do a recipe for dehydrated cranberries, which are really, really good. Okay. Colleen says, would love to see a video making poached eggs in the Ninja. I've got one. I've got a recipe for one where you make the poached eggs and the hollandaise sauce all at once. I don't know if I have a recipe on my website, but I definitely have a video. I definitely remember doing that. Now, it was a long time ago, so whether or not I would think of a different way to do it, I'm not really sure. I might. I don't know, but I forget how I did it now. But anyway, it worked out perfectly. Okay, so Grill Great's having a sale, a moving sale. I didn't even hear about that, and I'm like an affiliate for them, and I didn't even hear about that. Okay, Linda, my husband sous vide a lot of things. He wants to know how to defrost and cook without more cooking of the food. Also, can chicken thighs be sous vide? Yes, chicken thighs can be sous vide. And the best way that I found, because we do this a lot, where I will sous vide up a lot of chicken breast or sous vide up some steaks all the way to done. And then They can either thaw in the refrigerator and you can sear them to just kind of heat them. But the best way is to put them right back in the sous vide machine. So set your temperature again and let them go right back in there. So you could, like, let's say, sous vide your steak, sear it, put it in a let it cool completely, because that's important if you're going to freeze anything. Let it freeze completely. And then when you go to use it, just take it out and pop it into your same temperature water bath again and let it just warm up that way, because you're not going to overcook it that way. So that works perfectly. Pulling up from Chef Ramsay. Yeah. Oh, trust me, I've watched Chef Ramsay with his beef Wellington. And I did get some pointers because I have a recipe like coming out closer to Christmas for beef Wellington as well. So with the chicken Wellington, I tried 2 different ways. I tried to sous vide the chicken before, because you do cook it first. I mean, it doesn't cook in the time that the pastry cooks. So that's why it's totally prep ahead. And I also pan seared it and baked it in the oven. I'm on the fence about which one I liked better. I'm almost going for, I like the pan seared one better, which is really interesting because I thought I would like the texture of the sous vide one, but I don't know. I just did the sous vide one today. I think I might go with the other one. All right, let's see. Rhonda, I do have a Ninja Creamy in the back. I've done a ton of recipes for it in my head and on paper, and I don't get consistent results with it. So I haven't published any of them. That's the problem. Yes, there's mushrooms in the chicken Wellington, but if you don't like them, you don't have to. But it's a mushroom and onion saute that's really chopped up pretty finely. Yeah, they're going to be so good. They're so good. Okay, let's see. I'm going to keep going. You can put anything in puff pastry and I'll eat it. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I'm the same way. Cooking with Rick, that's funny. All right, let's see. Oh, I got the 8-quart foodie. Up to 1 now. All right, there you go. That's all you need. You only need 1. All right. Hi, Kelly from Maryland. I grew up in Maryland along the Chesapeake Bay. I grew up in Annapolis and then lived on Kent Island for a long time. So how are you? All right. Hi, Danita. How are you? All right. Let's see. Can you use the Ninja Grill inside even if you're supposed to use it outside? Okay. So Rhonda, I had that same question. So, you're using it outside because of the smoke function. You don't want your house full of smoke, right? But I asked my friend, do you think you could use it inside on using the other functions? Because it has all the same functions as the indoor grill does. And she wasn't really sure. She said, I don't see why not, but you wouldn't want to do the smoke inside, obviously. But since I haven't seen it, I can't really say, but I don't know how the design is or anything like that. All right. So they were chewy. That's probably just how they're going to be. Then we're back to the banana chips. Like I said, if I could figure out how I got that first batch perfect, I would. All right. DW sent the Speedy back because I was concerned that the Ninja wouldn't add to their Speedy builder. I have an Instant Pot Duo. So now I have the 8-quart Foodie Smart Lid and we'll give my Instant Pot away. Yeah. I don't know what they're going to do with that Speedy builder. And I don't even know how accurate it is. I mean, it's really hard to do those kind of things and have them accurate because there's just so many variables. You know what I mean? So yeah, it is what it is. But I think you'll like the 8-quart Foodie with the Smart Lid. And hopefully you've joined our groups on Facebook if you're on Facebook. Okay. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that. Danita, that could have been the problem using ripe bananas. They've got more sugar, so they're already a little wetter. I would go with a little bit, just tad bit unripe and see if you have better results. Okay. Hi, Pam. Hi, Sue. I said that already. What if I air fried the banana chips? Well, I mean, I guess you could if you coated them. You really could. I mean, they'd be mushy on the inside though. But now if you dehydrated them and then you breaded them in some way, I don't know. It kind of sounds gross. I don't even know what you would coat them with. That would be like add to the sweetness. I'm not really sure, but you might be able to dehydrate them, dip them in sugar, and then caramelize the sugar in the air fryer. Ooh, that might be good. Okay, let's see. Every time I want to make something in the Ninja Foodie, I make sure you have a recipe published for it before I buy the ingredients. Well, that's awesome. I appreciate that so much. Um, yeah, Miranda. I couldn't do this before because we didn't have internet at our house. I did it on Facebook, but I couldn't dual stream. We barely people that have been around for a while on Facebook in my Simply Cooking with Louise Facebook group, they know we struggled through the Q&As and struggled through the Tasty Tuesdays until we ended up buying a studio. It's a house that we have a studio kitchen and stuff now for filming it. Now I can go live, so I'm excited, and I can stream to YouTube. Well, thank you, Emmanuel. I appreciate that so much. All right, let's get down here and see if there's more questions because I'm still really behind. Okay. Yes, and you can air fry hard cooked eggs. And funny that you say that because I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to try it out. I've got a bunch of eggs and I'm working on a salad dressing recipe for a honey mustard salad dressing. It's so good. It's so good. And I could do like a little spinach salad with some bacon and the hard cooked eggs and stuff. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to try to air fry them. They say it works. I can't imagine it's better than pressure cooking them, but we'll see. We'll see how the peels, the eggshells peel off. Any suggestions on a good thermometer similar to the one that comes with the new Ninja? I have an OL501. I can see how handy that would be now. Okay, so a good thermometer, I love ThermoWorks. I think they call it now the smart one, but it was the MK4 is what it was always called for me. I love that thermometer. However, that's just an instant read. I'm sure they have other ones on their website that, would be like a probe kind. But there's one on Pampered Chef that I can drop the link for that does both. And it does a good job. It's accurate. Like I use it and I trust it. And I've tested it against the one that I know is like, spot on, which is the ThermoWorks one. I think it's ThermoWorks. And it's good. It's good. And it does both. Now, of course, it won't integrate with the Foodie. I'm sure you know that. So it's not exactly the same, but it is, the Pampered Chef one does go in there. I've tried it. Now, one thing I'm going to say that you might also look into that might even be better is a cordless one. I've got to find you guys back here. Okay. Is a cordless one. And the reason being is I have to be very careful when I have the cord coming out. Obviously, you can't pressure cook that way. And I don't even think the cordless are rated for pressure cooking, like the wireless ones. I don't even think they're rated for pressure cooking. So if you were going to pressure cook with a thermometer, you would really only want to do that with the one that's built into those models, or contact the manufacturer of your wireless thermometer and find out whether or not it would work in there. Because I don't know the answer to that. But with all the other functions, the wireless one would work just fine in there. And that might even be better because you don't have to worry about that cord. There is a way to do it where you won't pinch it and start to fray it and break it, but you have to be kind of careful with where you put it on the lid. So that's my only suggestion there. All right. Oh, great, Robin. I'm so glad. I could not believe how easy that was. I also cannot believe I didn't put in tomatoes. Like I love tomatoes and I always put in fire roasted tomatoes. So I really have no idea why I didn't in that recipe, but I didn't. So when I make tilapia in the air crisper, it falls apart a lot. Any tips? Okay, and tilapia is tender fish and it does tend to fall apart when it's not breaded. Is it sticking, or are you preheating the air fryer before you put the tilapia in? That would be my two things that I would say is definitely preheat for a full 10 minutes on broil if you're using the Ninja Foodie, or on the hottest setting that you have on your air fryer. And broil is grill in the European models. And then spritz the basket. And you have to be really careful when you go to flip tender fillets of fish like that. So those would be my suggestions. preheat and spritz a little bit of oil on the basket. Hopefully that'll work. Well, Marie, that's one of the things. And I've never heard it called holiday tea. I don't even remember. I think some people have called it friendship tea, but it does have a lot of sugar. That does have a lot of sugar in it. So I think I want to make it without, or with a sugar substitute, or maybe without, and then people can add their sugar or, their sugar substitute to it. So yeah, I'll probably give versions for both, so what people want to do. I made it one year. And I put different things in it. So mine's not going to be identical or anything like that. But I made it one year, years ago, and it was unbelievably delicious. Now, way before I was a food blogger, I didn't write anything down, of course. So I have no clue how I made it. So, all right. Anne wants to know, do I have a good low carb breading for air fryer chicken? Okay. First of all, let's talk about what type of chicken you're trying to air fry. Are you trying to air fry bone in, skin on, or boneless? Because the answers would be different for both of those. But low carb breading for, let's say, chicken nuggets or chicken tenders. I'm trying to think if I've tried almond flour. I don't know that I have. I have a chicken nugget recipe. If I have tried almond flour, it will be outlined in there, but I don't think so. I have tried crushed pork rinds. I personally don't like them, but my husband does. So I don't like the way that they do the breading, but he thought they were good. I just didn't think they were crispy enough. I didn't like them as much. But I think you could probably do some almond flour. I'm trying to think if I have a recipe that uses any kind of keto breading, or really the almond Parmesan chicken recipe that I have is fantastic. It's good, but it's not like what you're thinking, for the air fried chicken, but it's Parmesan and almonds. Is it almonds? I think it's almonds. Oh, that's good. And that is crunchy and that's delicious on chicken. And that's low carb. Now, if you're trying to air fry chicken that's got skin on it, I would skip the breading and just air fry like you do chicken wings and just get that skin nice and crispy. That's what I would do. All right. What do I do with all the Ninja Foodies after you get the newer models? I keep them. I have all of them, even my original ones, because people have questions. And so I can refer back because, the features are a little bit different on each one. So I can always go back and look, and they all work. So there's no reason to get rid of them. And I have a closet, that I have them stored in if I'm not actively using them. But I actively use 4 to 5 at a time, because I will test a recipe in like the 8-quart OL 701, and then I will test it in the 6.5-quart 2-lid, so I can try to get, differences, if there's any differences, so I can write those into my recipe. We are live. Okay. All right. So cooking with Rick is helping. Robin. Yep. Okay. Have I had a chance to check out dairy-free yogurt yet? Yes, I have. That is a video in my course, in the online Ninja Foodie course. I haven't gotten around to doing a video on YouTube with it. It's not complicated. It's the same thing, but you have to order the cultures. I did a coconut almond milk. So you have to make your own almond milk. And then you can use coconut milk out of the can. And it was okay. It wasn't my favorite thing in the world, but it wasn't horrible by any stretch of the imagination. So it's a little bit runnier. And I don't remember in that video, I can't remember if I ended up thickening it up with some xanthan gum or not. I don't remember. But anyway, if you have the Ninja Foodie course, it is in there. If not, you'll just have to wait till I have a slot. And I have to order the cultures because I don't know if they're still good. They're in my freezer. They might be. I don't know. But basically, if you look up a recipe for that type of thing, of that type of yogurt that you want to make, you can easily do it in the Foodie using the yogurt function. It works fine. Okay, hello. I have the 2-lid Ninja pressure cooker, 8-quart. I love it, and I'm sure you addressed the issue. Is it worth going to the 1-lid version? Well, I don't know. That's really hard to say. Like, if you really like to make bread and you want really crusty bread, then maybe it is worth it for you. Um, Otherwise, no, I think you can do pretty much everything. I mean, it's hard for me to say, okay, because I love my 2-lid models, and I think they're a little more efficient, to be honest with you. But they work the same. And so there's added features. If you proof bread a lot, maybe you'll like that. Of course, I use Dehydrate on my 2-lid to proof, and it works fine. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's such a hard question. I don't know if there's any reason to really upgrade. Now, I find myself migrating to use the 1-lid more, and I getting more used to it. But yeah, they're the same. I mean, really, except for a few functions. The steam and crisp is nice for certain things, but you can mimic that in your 2-lid. It's just a little more cumbersome. So yeah, I don't think so. I think, upgrade when you need to, right? When something's not going right, or if you want to have two. Now, if you wanted to have two, then I would definitely say, yeah, get one of each model, because then you're going to have, all the functions. All right. I made your tuna casserole last week and it was great. My question is, can I use the other half a can of soup this week? I'm not sure if it's still good. Did you make it yourself, or was it a canned soup? If you made it yourself, I mean, you're kind of going to know by looking at it. Is it kind of watery and smelly? Don't use it. In the future, if you make it yourself, or even if you don't, if it's the condensed canned kind, put it into a bag and throw it in your freezer. That way it's definitely going to be good next time you go to use it. But a week is getting up there in time. So without seeing it, smelling it, I couldn't really say. I definitely use my nose and my eyes to determine if I'm going to eat something or not. Um, all right, cooking with Rick. Let's see. How safe is it? I'm not sure what that is in reference to. So, um, all right. Let's see. Um, I am I am in Mississippi right now, but I live in Tennessee. All right. My husband bought me a bag of frozen scallops. What is the best way to cook them? I sear them. I use the sear saute, and I mean, obviously you want to thaw your scallops. Okay. You want to thaw them, remove the abductor muscle, and then I'm going to post a recipe for you. That is so good. Okay. What did I call it? I guess I can just look at seared scallops here. Oops. You guys want to know what I have my computer sitting up on something because that gives the camera the best angle, and it's sitting on the grill basket. I just think this is funny. It's sitting on the grill basket and the grill griddle. That's like the perfect height, but it's a little wobbly. So if you see my computer camera kind of twitch when I'm doing this, that's why. All right, so we want scallops, right? All right, seared scallops in the Ninja Foodie with pearled couscous. Oh my gosh. Oh, this one's good too. All right, let's get back to you guys now. Where are you? There we are. Okay. Here you go, Terry. Ninja Foodie does a great job at searing scallops, by the way, and I'm pretty funny about my seared scallops. Hi, Molly. How are you? Okay. Colleen said that she made her pecan crusted chicken again, but used pecans instead and of almonds. Oh, that's cool. That's good. But not, oh, it wasn't okay. It wasn't a hard enough nut, I guess. The moisture. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I didn't realize that would happen. Thanks for sharing that. That'll save somebody else from making that mistake. I'm sure it was still delicious though. Okay, Marie says, I see a lot of people complain about the slow cook function, but it did great on a pot roast yesterday. Took out the carrots and onions and set aside. Yeah, I think it works great too. I really do. Okay. No, Pat, I have not gotten the armadillo situation straight now. That's going to take a little bit of time. Okay. I don't know how many we have in our yard. It's crazy. All right, let's see. I got that already. Terry, I know they're very expensive. I also have one for the grill. Okay, so I also have, if you want that one, let me get that one for you. Because you might be more comfortable doing it on the grill. Let's see. This was surf and turf. Although I will tell you, just looking at the pictures in the recipe, I think they turned out better just searing them. They were absolutely beautiful. The thing about scallops is you don't want to overcook them, okay? Better to undercook than overcook when it comes to scallops and shrimp, in my opinion. All right, so let's see. Hard for me to make a difference between steam crisp and steam bake. New to this, probably there's no difference. I mean, there's no way for me to know. I didn't, design them, but I'm thinking that the difference is the fan speed. That is the difference on the 2-lid model, where Air Crisp has a little bit faster of a fan speed. So I'm assuming that's the same thing. So you would want the fast fan speed when you crisp, but not necessarily when you're baking, like especially like a batter. If you're baking a brownie batter or a cake batter, you wouldn't want a faster fan speed twirling around your batter, right? Okay, let's see. Do I have creeps? Are there creeps in here? I haven't run across them yet, so I just go by. I do probably need a monitor now that I'm on YouTube. YouTube is famous for getting people like just strange comments. I just ignore them. Whatever. Just keep on doing your thing. All right, let's see. Susan, congratulations on your purchase. Okay, newbie Nicole was asking about the dehydrated strawberries for somebody who was in the chat earlier. I'm sure they turned out great, though. I'm sure they did. I need to make a good garlic butter for toasted garlic bread. All right, you can do that. It's so easy. But a good garlic butter starts with roasted garlic, okay? See, the issue with garlic, like minced garlic, if it's not cooked, it's real bitter. So you could do one or two things. You can either roast garlic, which is my preference because I love roasted garlic. It's like candy to me. Roast garlic and then melt it in, melt your butter and mix it in or blend it up. I have a garlic Parmesan wing recipe, and it uses that kind of a thing, but it also has some Parmesan cheese in it, which would be amazing on garlic bread. Absolutely amazing. I also use something similar in my garlic knot recipe. Let me pull that one. That's going to be the closest, I think. Let me pull that one for you. Let's see. Garlic knots. I put some roasted garlic in the dough, but I don't think. Let me jump to the recipe here. Yeah, I do. I do use some, I think, in the butter too. Anyway, I'll post that recipe, but I think either one would probably be okay. So, or you could look up the other one that I mentioned. What was it now? I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Okay, the other way you could do it, I forgot the other recipe. I totally lost it. But anyway, the other way you could do it is to saute your garlic minced garlic in a little frying pan just over low heat for 2 to 3 minutes as you melt the butter, and then you can spread it on. Maybe put some Italian seasoning in it or just some oregano, and then spread it on your bread. So just don't use raw garlic and butter because it will just taste very pungent and will not be good. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Brittany, that sounds so good. Pumpkin cheesecake bars with a ginger snap crust. Oh my gosh. Hi, Tammy. How are you? So we're back to when I was asked about pumpkin. Oh my gosh, I am really far back. So my goodness. Oh, that's a good question. What is the best way to make pumpkin seeds? Um, I did this last year. I didn't do a recipe for it, and I don't remember why. But the thing about pumpkin seeds, I'm trying to remember. I mean, obviously they're a pain to like prep, but usually I wash them, get all the skins off, blah, 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 put them to dry. They need to be dry. And then you can toss them in some seasoning, some oil, and then some seasoning. And you can really cook them any way you want. I'm sure you could air fry them, except for the fact that might pop up, a little bit. So that's probably something that I would do more in the oven without a fan going. But if you wanted to give it a try, I would probably use the bake function, or, well, yeah, I would probably use the bake function and put them all the way in the bottom of the pot in as much of a single layer as you can, and use the bake function. It'll be a slower fan speed. So hopefully that would work. But yeah, I'm going to have to do a recipe for those because I love pumpkin seeds. All right. Let's get that down. Let's go. Brittany, the dogs are okay. I'm just trying to I want them to be totally gone with the fleas before they come over here. Okay. I used the Pampered Chef temperature probe while cooking a roast in the Ninja Foodie, but it did not accurately record the temperature. Too low. No, I don't know why that happened. I mean, I'm assuming that you had it placed correctly. What I would do is calculate it, because mine is accurate, but I mean, that's mine. When they're manufactured, they might not be always accurate, which would be a shame. But you can calculate that with doing the ice water test. So I would do that. I have that on my website somewhere. I'm trying to remember where I did that. I'll have to think about that for a minute if you need directions on how to do it, because I did it for the grill as well. I recommend that you definitely test the accuracy of the grill temperature or the grill probe, and any probe, that comes with the Ninja Foodies. I definitely recommend testing them. Whoops, I just knocked something down. For newbies, what accessories would I recommend for the multi-cookers? None. I would recommend none at first, because a lot of times people will, me included, I mean, I'm not, trying to be rude to anybody, but people will go out and buy a whole bunch of stuff. They don't really know what they need yet, and they don't use half of it. So I would say nothing right at first. Look over recipes, make some one-pot meals, get comfortable with it, and then as you start to get where you want to make different things, look at some recipes and see what they're using. I know what you won't go wrong with is if you got the baking kit from Ninja. That is a 3-piece kit that has a pizza pan, and it has a loaf pan, and it also has an all-purpose pan. That's a great little starter. It's very good quality. It's dark coated, so that's going to act differently than a lighter coated type of accessory, or baking pan, but they're really good quality and they work well. The other thing that I use a whole lot is an 8-inch by 2-inch Fat Daddio pan and a 6-inch by 2-inch Fat Daddio pan. And I use specifically those sizes for a reason, because they are the easiest to stack in the Ninja Foodie 2 lid models for 360 meals. Now, there are some problems with the 6.5 quart 1 lid model, because you get too high and you can't close the pressure lid because you've got the coil there. Whereas on the 2 lid models, there's no coil, obviously, in the pressure lid, and it's got a little bit of clearance up there. So that's probably it. And then if you find you want to make cheesecakes, you're going to need a springform pan. But I use the same things over and over and over again. The most used accessory that I use is the basket, which a lot of them are coming with the crisping plate now, which I don't like as much. So I would also recommend the basket. I think people have good results with the basket, and you can get that off Ninja Kitchen as well. Thanks, John, for asking that question. That's a good one. Raven, that sounds good. Dipping the banana chips in sweetened coconut and then like toasting that. Yeah, you'd have to figure out a way to get them to stick on, but yeah, I like that idea. Hey, Patty, how are you? I'm so glad you enjoyed that soup. I am so behind on everything. I have not even gotten, still have 2 recipes that I've released on YouTube, and I haven't written up for my website. I'm just so behind on everything. All right, let's see. All right, that's a good question. On my Flavors of Fall cookbook, do you have to adjust any of the recipes for the new One Lid Ninja? You shouldn't have to, no. I haven't seen any real major differences between the way that they operate. So I've tested a few of my recipes where I would think they might need to be tweaked, and they haven't. So yeah, I would say no, you're fine. Yeah, instant reads work fine. All right. Have I found any spoonulas like Pampered Chef? I don't know what that is. Annie, I'm sorry. I'm not sure what that is. Okay. Okay, Janice wants to know if I'll be checking out the new Ninja Smoker soon. Well, I didn't plan on doing anything with the smoker, but my friend is coming to visit me, and she has 2 of them, and she's going to sell one. So I'll probably buy it because it's going to be cheap, and I'll check hers out first, though. Right? So I already have a few things I want to do on it. I'm not going to share those yet, though. But yes. That's it too, Valerie. Russian tea is another word for it. That's right. Okay, Kathy, the stuffed mushroom recipe isn't really a recipe. It was what I whipped up for Tasty Tuesday. So it hasn't been tested again. I don't write down ingredients because I'm just cooking live. So for people who made it, they actually went through and wrote down what I did. I know that's really labor intensive. It will be a recipe, but it's not right now. Okay, superfine almond flour works well. I think we're talking about low bread coating. And somebody also said to add some baking powder. So those are good tips to try. Let's see. Okay, so I use a round silicone screen mat when I air fry fish. If it falls apart on the screen, it still makes it to the plate. That's a good tip too. Yep, that's a good tip too. Okay. What do I think of the air fry lids you can buy to use on the Instant Pot? And that's a really good question. So if you have the Instant Pot and you want to do an air fryer, there's something called a Mealthy lid. Now let me see what they are running now. I'm surprised that they didn't take off. Okay, so basically, like I'm seeing them anywhere from $55 to $90, depending on where you get them. And they're typically, it says, according to the website, $78.66. I think that's a viable option. I have never worked with one, so I do not know how well they work, so I can't speak to that. Also, sometimes you can find a Ninja Foodie 2-lid model for less than that, okay? Depending on where you are and what the price range are. I mean, they are coming down in price, the older models are. So that might be something to at least cost compare. And I don't have anybody that's given me direct feedback on how well they work. I would assume they're fine, but I don't know the answer because I've, personally, because I haven't used one. Yeah, I'm using the one lid more often. It's up there. And so I'm using it more often. Yes, I'm using it because I got like, when are you going to start using the new model? And I was like, well, I don't want anyone who has the older 2 models, thinking, oh, I see now where I need to get rid of some people here. Let's see. I'll just block that person. Okay. Yeah, I know. I need a moderator. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I see that. Okay. Yeah, I do. Why do people suck? That's what I want to know. I don't want to have a moderator. Why do people suck? That just irritates me. I just blocked that person. I don't know if there's somebody else. I've never had that happen. And of course, because I'm so slow reading these comments, I can't, I didn't even see that. So you guys are being subject to that. I'm sorry. That's on YouTube. So Facebook's like, what are you talking about? Because it's probably not happening on Facebook. It's happening on YouTube. Ah, I can't really. Well, I didn't know he was even there. So now I'm looking down. So now I can't concentrate at all. If I saw it, I would have deleted him. Okay. So I'm just now getting to that. Yeah, I kicked out Chicken McFry. I blocked him. Well, I guess now I'm just going to have to find a moderator. This is ridiculous, though. I don't know why people can't behave. We're adults. It's in a, adults. I don't know. So ridiculous. Anyway, you saw me get mad because that kind of stuff irritates me. Just like the people on Facebook harassing commenters on my recipe post, trying to marry them and stuff. Do you know what a hassle that is to have to go through and delete and block all those people? It's not easy on Facebook because I've got to block them from my whole thing, and I've got to go into this it's a pain in the butt. Then you can hardly find people. It's just like, social media. Let me just tell you. Okay, do I have any recipes for risotto? In my flavors of fall, I have a pumpkin risotto, actually. Since we were talking about pumpkin, I have a pumpkin risotto. But I don't think I've done a risotto recipe on my website. And it's super easy to do. And I don't have one. And I'm not sure why. That is definitely something I need to do. So thanks for that. I need to do that. All right. Let's see. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to be asked out either on this thing. So crazy. All right. I made your pot de creme last night and I didn't follow all the instructions and they sort of exploded, but no water got inside. They were still delicious. Oh, well, I wonder what you didn't follow. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad they were salvageable. That's for sure. All right, guys. I'm sorry. People are just so nasty. Well, I'll reach out to somebody and see if I can. I'll have to get a moderator. This is ridiculous, though. Let me just tell you. John lives in Australia. I don't want to ask him to do that. Yeah, Jeremiah, I got rid of that guy. Debbie, yeah, I know the sexual trolls are terrible. Oh, you guys can block them on your end too? Okay, well, that's good. That makes me feel better in case I don't see them. I just hate it. It's like so creepy. It's like, just go away. Okay. Let's see. They cannot adult. Oh my gosh. So funny. Well, I guess that was some excitement in the live, right? So that's a good question. So if we can block them on our end, how? And are they blocked? Yeah, interesting. I know I can block them by hitting the 3 stars. I can put them in timeout, which I'm not a kindergarten teacher. I'm not putting anybody in timeouts. You're either in or you're out. I don't play games like that. I don't run my Facebook groups like that either. You're not going to get slapped on the wrist because I'm not that person. You're either in or you're out, behave yourself and you stay in, misbehave or be rude to people. You're out. It's easy for me. All right, John. Well, see, Jeff can do it on Tasty Tuesdays, but if you want to volunteer, I'd love to have you do it. I have to figure out how to do that. I'm not really sure. If I don't know how to do that, I've never done that before, but let's see. My only choices are to put you in timeout, John, or to block you. But I would think that there would be a way to add a moderator. So I'll have to figure that out. So anyway, now people are being very helpful trying to help people block these fools on YouTube, which I think I got rid of them. So I don't even know why people do that. I just don't even really know. Anyway, Did I answer all the questions? I hope so. I went a little over. I always do. I run my mouth too much. That's probably my biggest criticism in comments on YouTube. People like to call me fat too, but I don't care. But the other one is you talk too much. You just ramble on. I'm like, yeah, that's me. That's me. I do. All right. Well, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. It's been 90 minutes almost. Excuse me. And I'm working on some really big projects that I'm really excited about, but they're taking me forever. So I'm going to try to do little bits at a time. Thank you, Colleen. I appreciate it. All right, Debbie, thank you so much. Connie, I don't listen to him anymore. It used to get under my skin. When I first started, it got under my skin when people were rude. I didn't really mind when they called me fat because I'm like, oh, whatever. But when they told me I couldn't cook, that got under my skin quite a bit. And I would challenge them and this, that, and the other and engage in all this, back and forth. And I'm like, this is just so ridiculous. I'm not wasting my time. Why would I waste my time on these people when there's lovely people that have questions, real valid questions that I want to answer and help? So yeah, I don't worry about it anymore, but it's just, I just don't do rude people. It's just so ridiculous. But anyway, so there we go. I'll get a moderator now for YouTube. I knew YouTube was going to be this way. Facebook is not this way for me. Although somebody did tell me or did write a comment on one of my groups the other day that they were upset because somebody was recommending me. I thought this was so funny. They were upset. Somebody was recommending thinking that I did a video on something, which I don't even think I did do that video. And then she says, I get really irritated when everybody mentions the salted pepper. Not everybody's a salted pepper fan. I personally don't care for her. But you're in my group. Like, okay, you don't have to like me. I don't really care. It doesn't matter. But anyway. All right, guys. Thank you so much. It was fun as always. And we will be back next Tuesday for Tasty Tuesday, where I'll be cooking up something and I have no idea what it's going to be. I'm waiting. Jeff says that he's going to flip things around and he's going to cook. But I don't think it's coming. I don't know when it's coming. He says, I'll never know when it's coming. But, I could also make that determination too, because this is a 50-50 partnership in this marriage. So I could just flip it on him and say, well, there you go. And maybe we'll do the Ninja Speedy or something instead of the Ninja Foodie. So who knows? Anyway, somebody asked what I was drinking. Water, just water. I've got a lot going on right now, a lot of recipes testing. And so alcohol and recipe testing does not go together because I have to write everything down so precisely. So, and I've been testing a bunch of recipes today and I still have some going. So I can't have a cocktail tonight. But anyway, I love you all. Thank you so much. And I will see you next week for Tasty Tuesday. Can't wait. See you guys later. Have a great